the mistakes that I have made.
Grammy Award-winning musician India Arie taking her music off Spotify after highlighting a barrage of racist language repeatedly used by Joe Rogan. But she says she's not looking for him to be canceled. And singer-songwriter India Arie joins me now. India, you know I love you. I love you since the moment I met you. I'm meaning your music. So thank you for joining us. I think I think you have a very nuanced perspective about this, and I really respect it. You say that Joe Rogan has spurred this protest, but it's not actually about him. What's it about, ma'am?
I love you too, and you're about to make me cry by playing "I Am Light" in my intro. So it's about a confluence of energies, because there is Joe Rogan, his insensitive language around race. There's that. And there's also Spotify and their treatment of artists, and there's that. I knew about Joe Rogan's insensitive comments around race before, because I'm a podcast listener and I had heard many episodes of his podcast. When I learned of his language, I just tuned out on my own. But it was brought into my world as an artist, a working musician, which is, I want to get into that tonight, I hope. But as a working musician who has always had issues with Spotify, and then they bring in this Joe Rogan thing, and now it creates a thing that I can't not speak up about. So he's not the reason, but he is the final reason.
Mm-hmm. So you were a listener, and you said you just started tuning out. And what did you mean by when you held your hand up and you said you have an issue with Spotify because you have this and then you have, what do you mean by that? Explain to the viewer.
Well, I feel like the average person confuses celebrity culture. I'm going to hold my hand up again because my opinions are always nuanced. I think human beings, we're nuanced. So I feel like the average person confuses celebrity culture with being a working musician. Everybody's not on TMZ arguing about their kids. Like, that's celebrity culture. The vast majority of working musicians, the people who write the songs, that produce the songs, there are multiple people behind all music you hear, the music you hear on the commercial. There are multiple people that make that music, your favorite songs, your kids' songs, Baby Shark. Somebody wrote all of that stuff. And there's been an ongoing argument, is the right word. There's been an ongoing argument and ongoing trials about how now with these digital streaming platforms, how these working artists are paid. And it's so low, and they say, like, it's just how it is. And so we all kind of just like, all right, so we need to do more touring. And then COVID hit and then touring went away. So that's a whole nother nuance, but how it is something we've all lived with for a long time. There's actually a trial coming up where there's still going to be ongoing trials about how to get this rate to be more fair for working musicians. Mm-hmm. And so there's that conversation. And then there's Spotify comes in and there's this big payment to this guy that a lot of people find offensive. It doesn't matter what his name is. There's a person here that a lot of people find offensive, and we also find our lack of pay offensive, and that creates a different conversation. Because I can tune out on Joe Rogan on my own. It's fine. I don't have to tell people that what I know. I just don't have to listen. But if you bring it into my world, now I have to say something.
Well, India, let me ask you this.
I hope that was clear.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So I'm asking you, would it help if Joe Rogan was an ally to the artists and could understand, because he's in that position, he makes a lot of money, maybe he can join forces with you and help you guys to get to where you want, to meet there's some sort of happy medium, so to speak, since he is, I think, is he the highest paid? It's either him or Meghan and or the Obamas or whatever. I'm not sure who's the highest paid there, but what do you think?
I mean, I think it would be a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when people are allies to each other in any realm. I don't expect that fully, but I have to say, I did think he did a fine job with his apology. Mm-hmm. He said a lot of the things I would want to hear someone say. The thing that stuck out for me most was when he said, "It's not my word to use."
Right.
And I think change behavior is what we're really looking for. If it went all the way to allyship, that would be wonderful. But also, change behavior would be wonderful too.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you before you go, when you said it's not our word to use, I always wonder why so many people want to use that word, especially, it seems, he said white people, right? I find like a lot of white guys, it feels like they feel like it's their right to use that word, or why can't I use that word? I'm entitled to use it. Do you understand what, like, why? Why do you want to say the word? If you want to say the word, then say it, but then you have to suffer the consequences of actually saying the word.
That's it right there. If you're asking me why, I feel like a lot of it has to do with popular culture. This is now a whole nother nuanced conversation, but you know, it's in a lot of the music.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's important for him to say it's not my word to use, because I have a whole other conversation about it being in the music. Anybody who knows my music knows that I have a strong values in my music. Every song for 8 albums, I always have. And so you can imagine where I stand with the use of the word, but also I stand in solidarity with the Black community because I understand historically why we use it. I know why we use it, but explaining that to everyone every time is not where I want to be or where anybody should have to be. We should just say, you should be able to say, just don't.
Right.
And also, like, I don't think that Joe Rogan is racist for using it. I think he's insensitive for using it.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Well,
you know?
You are light, and I hope this conversation helps. Again, I love you. I think that you are amazing for, you put yourself out there. One of the only people, to come out and do that. And so I appreciate you, and I hope that everybody else stands in your light. And I would love for Joe Rogan to become an ally. You guys should talk. Thank you, India. You're invited here anytime.
Like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be well.
You too.